What's going on, YouTube? It's One Supreme again, and welcome back to some more Star Citizen. Today I decided to do a quick comparison video. We're going to compare the Constellation Andromeda and the Drake Corsair. So before we take the ships out, I'm going to pull up Eurkl Stats, just kind of compare them on paper. I don't really like to do that because I like getting a feel for the ships like hands-on, like in-game and stuff like that. Eurkl is a good place to, like, you know, test out loadouts and stuff. It really is. Like, it's great for that. It's just looking at on the stats and paper, I'm like, yeah, but you know, I don't know, there's something different to having hands-on on these ships. But we're gonna just compare Eurkl Stats to see how the Connie and the Corsair really do compare on paper, and then we're going to take out the Connie first and then the Corsair. So here on Eurkl, I'm looking at like top speed and like the pitch, yaw, and roll stuff, right? That's the main thing I'm looking for, right? So we got afterburner speed 911 meters per second. That's interesting. That is interesting. But also HP. So we got 20,000 body HP, 20,000 nose HP, and a total of 181,344 total hull HP on the Constellation Andromeda. I actually don't understand this because this might be inaccurate, because I think the Connie goes like 970 something. Max pitch, yaw, and roll, we got 25, 25, and 65. So we're going to go to the Corsair. And on paper, it looks like the afterburner speed is actually faster than the Connie, which I don't think is accurate. But we have 100,000 less hull HP than the Constellation Andromeda. We only have 88,000 when the Constellation Andromeda has 181,000. So yeah, about 100,000 less, right? But the pitch and yaw is 2 degrees per second faster at 27 for both, and the roll's 85 degrees per second. Is that a degrees per second? I don't freaking know. 85. So the pitch, yaw, and roll is actually better on the Corsair. That is interesting. That is very interesting. So what we're gonna do to test these ships out, like in game, first I'm gonna take it out the vacuum, test out top speed, see how they pitch, yaw, and roll, and then I'm gonna take them out on a VHRT, and then I'm gonna switch loadouts and take them out on an ERT and see which one I prefer. I want to point out that this video is probably going to end up being my opinions. Every ship is different for everybody. Some of you may agree, some of you may not. I just want to put that point across. So we're going to take out the Connie and test how it feels. Then we're going to take out the Corsair, test how it feels. Then we're going to take the Connie. This is basically how I'm going to edit the video. We're going to take the Connie out on a VHRT. Then we're going to take the Corsair out on a VHRT. Then we'll take the Connie out on the ERT. And then we'll take the Corsair out on the ERT. And then I'll do my final thoughts after that. All right, now that we're out in space. First, I kind of want to try out, like, the pitch. I'll do the pitch. The pitch seems pretty good, you know, for a big ship. And honestly, I feel like the pitch doesn't really... I don't know if I notice a difference in pitch on a lot of ships. I mean, obviously you're gonna feel more of a pitch on like light fighters and medium fighters and heavy fighters and bigger ships and stuff like that, but I don't notice that much of a difference. Yaw, especially stationary, I feel a little bit of a difference, but our yaw, it seems pretty responsive as well. And the roll, I already know this, Connie's got a lot of overroll. I'm letting go right now. So we'll have to see how the Corsair is. But my biggest thing that I'm really worried about is top speed. So let's get the top speed on the Constellation and see what it actually is. I think afterburner speed, now that I think about it, is actually when you're like pulling the boost. But let's go straight, no boost. We're going full speed. Really? Am I being proven wrong? I swore the Connie only went about 970, but it's sitting at 910, almost 11. That's interesting. Wow, shows how much I pay attention. So now we're going to test out the Corsair. So before I test the maneuverability of this thing, I wanted to point out one thing really quick. The view on the Corsair is a lot better. Just because of all the struts on the Constellation. Most ships are going to have a better view than the Constellation, 100%. So I just wanted to point that really quick that for just pure visibility, I would pick the Corsair. But for yaw, well, I think the yaw is, or not the yaw, the pitch, sorry. The pitch up and down actually does seem a little bit faster than the Connie. Not much, but a little bit. Yaw, that also seems a little bit faster too. Okay. And now our rolls. Got a lot of overroll, just like the Connie. The rolls feel the same, 100%. At least in space, they do. The rolls feel about the same. So I'm rolling, and I'm letting go now. Yeah. Rolls actually feel the same to me. Definitely. But now we're going to test that top speed. Acceleration does seem a little bit faster on the Corsair. So the Constellation only went 910. And we're already past that. Okay. So the Corsair is actually faster than the Connie, not by much. It's about 39 meters per second faster, but it's still faster. And that might actually be a selling point for me here, because it gives me just a little bit more to try to get away for something if I need to. Now, granted, both ships are slow. You're not really going to try to get away from anything unless you quantum out. But it's still, I think that's still enough to where I can justify, like, oh, I don't want to go down. Where I could justify, you know, the Corsair is faster. All right, now that we tested a little bit of the maneuverability, and then we're going to get a real good test of maneuverability while we're in combat. But now we're going to take the Connie out on the VHRT. I know it says HRT on the top. It's one of those Microtech ones. If you guys don't know, Microtech's VHRTs show up as HRTs, but they pay out as VHRTs. So I don't know why it does that, but it is a VHRT. I want to point that out. It pays $17.5 like a standard VHRT. Here, I'm actually going to pop it up just to prove to you guys. There you go. See, $17.5. Even though it says HRT, it is a VHRT. It is a VHRT. So we're going to take out all the targets. Man, why is it so dark? Holy cow. We're going to take out all the targets. We're going to do similar loadouts on both ships. We're going to do all laser repeaters for the VHRT and then all ballistic Gatlings for the ERT. The shields on both ships will be FR-86s, and quantum drives are going to be XL-1s, and power plants are going to be JS-400s. So missile loadouts will obviously be different, because I can have 52 missiles on this thing, because this thing's a missile boat, and then what, at max 20-ish, like what? Actually, no, I think it's like 30 some size 2s if you throw the Redeemer racks on, but I'm only going to have 8 size 3s on the Corsair. So I'm going to turn on my gimbals. We're also running gimbals for the laser repeaters. We got an Anvil Hurricane, Anvil Valkyrie. What else we got? Okay, the Valkyrie's primary. Let's do a scan because I don't want to smack it on the ground. That would suck. Where did the Hurricane go? I hope I'm on lead right now. Alright, that looks like the Hurricane. We got another one here. 2 Hurricanes. Alright. So I'm going to primarily use guns since missiles will be different. We just need to get close enough and try not to smack into the damn ground. So I have my flare count on the Connie set to 5, and that seemed to be pretty effective to flare off the missile. Ooh, I don't know what. I'm whiffing hard. Holy cow. Alright. Let's try to whip around here.
Got something for you.
A yaw. A little bit of roll there too. Or should we have them blow right by us? Now that they're behind me, I'm in a pretty crappy spot. We'll decelerate, see if they fly right by us. Yep, there we go. Alright. This ain't doing so hot. Alright. Second attempt, because that was just a weird first engagement. I'm actually probably going to cut out that first engagement because that just, I was like, what is going on? It's late right now. I just couldn't sleep, so I decided to start recording this thing right now. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. So but yeah, we will see. But so far, now that I know, because I swore this thing was faster than the Corsair, but now that I know it's slower than the Corsair, trying to get away from targets suck. All right, so there's our Valkyrie. Oh, I also didn't have my pip in the right spot either. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to end up utilizing missiles. Yeah, both effective of both. Because why not use the Connie to one of its strengths is its missiles. Alright. Oh, wow. Okay, there we go. Alright, now we're engaging. Guns, guns, guns. There we go. There goes the Hurricane. Now we need to get around to this Valkyrie, because we let that Valkyrie go right by us. Alright. Let loose guns. There we go. This is going much better than the first try. All right. So my first try was all, like, let's say player error. The second time went a lot smoother, especially since I used one of the Constellation's strengths, which is the missiles. So now we're going to do a VHRT. So we are here at the VHRT in the Corsair. I want to point out, just because I saw you can do it, I'm running 4 size 4 missiles on the Corsair instead. So it's not a stock like size missile loadout like I did on the Connie. I mainly did it because I really want to try them. So for the VHRT, I'm actually not going to use these. On the ERT, I will. But I feel like if I use these with how much probably more powerful they are than size 2s and obviously size 1s, I'm not going to use them. Just to give it a fair shake at the sheer firepower of both ships. And I can already tell you the Corsair is going to come out on top for 2 reasons. One, there's more guns. We got 6 guns over 4, and I believe, I'll have to double check footage, but I believe the capacitors are also higher. So just one of those things I just gotta double check, but I believe the capacitors are higher on the repeaters, especially when we have our power to weapons, because look at this. But after really testing the maneuverability, and I'm not trying to make this video seem biased, I'm really not, but after testing the maneuverability of the Connie and the maneuverability of this, and seeing that this thing is actually faster, this might actually be my pick of what might be better. But that's also depending on the person too. So, because personally, I think the Connie looks better. Like, just visually looks better. It's a spaceship-ass spaceship, and that's what I call it. So we need to go to a lead pip. Let's make sure we're not hitting it, getting close to the ground at all. The thing that does suck in an atmosphere that you don't have to do in the Connie, so that's a point towards the Connie, man. I have to have a slight pitch up on the Corsair to keep it level in atmosphere, even on Calliope, because right now we are on the moon of Calliope. So I'm just trying to make sure I'm not hitting anything, and right now it's kind of, I can't tell. Watch. All the combat for both of these ships are going to be at nighttime. Like, all the no, I take that back. The ERT for the Connie was actually during the day. Oh, there's a third contact. We got a Hornet, a Cuddy, and a Vanguard Warden. Also, this is one of those Microtech VHRTs that pops up as an HRT. I mean, we're a little far enough where I could really show it to you really quick, just to cover my bases. 17.5, and it says HRT, even though it pays as a VHRT. So it is a VHRT. I just don't know why it does that for Microtech. I really don't. There's another one. There's 4 targets here. Buccaneer. We're flaring stuff off. Alright. So, a downside to the Corsair is you do need more to flare off missiles. I had 5 set up on the Connie. I had 5 set up on here. I was able to flare off missiles with 5 on the Connie, but not on the Corsair. Oh, come on, man. All right. All right. Front shields are down. We're gonna try to get some distance. But it does not look like that's going to happen all that well. And we're about to lose a wing. So let's slow up here. Alright, we're going to disengage. So I am going to keep both engagements for both ships in, because now we've had to disengage from the VHRT in both ships. So I think that is worthy to keep in the video. But now we're getting some boost back. I didn't repair the Connie, and I'm not going to repair the Corsair either. I'm going to keep power to shields on this thing. Alright, we're getting that Cuddy Black already. Wow, these size 4s can lock pretty far out. That's interesting. I'm not using them. I said I'm not going to use them. It is a downside to the Corsair. Doesn't have the missile strength. Granted, I'm not using a stock missile loadout on this, but you have 50 missiles on the Connie versus that maybe maximum 30 some. That Hornet is done. All right, get to charge those capacitors again. Am I at a... I feel like I was at a lag pit there. I don't know. Where's our ground? Oh, we're going straight down. I don't know how I feel about that. Ah, screw it. Still need more flares. And I actually think that missile might have missed. But with him facing at our nose and the sheer amount of firepower that the Corsair has, done. This Vanguard is not going to last much longer either. Make sure we're not smacking on the ground, because he is close to the ground. Reload those weapons. And opening fire. Yeah, 9. I needed 9 flares to flare that thing off. That is crazy. So, out of defensiveness, the ship... The Connie is better from a defense standpoint. Definitely, 100%. So, we had some technical difficulties. I had to fall back on laser cannons instead of ballistic Gatling. For some reason, the 84Bs are spawning without barrels on my ship in live. I haven't had that issue since trying to mess around with loadouts on the PTU. So I don't know why that happened. But, you know, I had a backup plan. Laser cannons, because laser cannons are just as capable, in my opinion. So we are on the ERT for the Constellation. So this should be fun. So what we're going to do here is we are going to prep our missiles. And just to get a good count, 28 size 1s, 24 size 2s. So yeah, 52 missiles. And we are going to slow up here a little bit. We're going to launch as many missiles as we can to take out the fighter escorts of the Hammerhead. And then we're going to go basically launch the rest of our payload at that Hammerhead and then go guns. That's what I'm planning to do. But, you know...
Make the plan, execute the plan, expect the plan to go off the rails, throw away the plan.
So, all of that kind of shenanigans. We're also going fixed instead of gimbals to get the most amount of DPS possible. And we have a Hurricane that I saw there just slightly as one of the escorts. And we'll Hurricane. And we're just gonna start popping missiles right now. Try to get these away from us as soon as possible. Alright. Whoa. There we go. Hammerhead down. Alright, by the way, laser cannons we are running are Omni Skies. So we're gonna launch the rest of our payload at this Hammerhead while we're this far away. Really, this is really playing at the strengths of the Connie with the sheer amount of missiles that this thing has. We can just keep letting them loose. We got one more volley. And then we'll start launching our size ones. Seems like the size ones are kind of wonky. You see that? See how some of those missiles just kind of like just fell out of my launcher? Now, I can do this with straight guns, but I really want to get as much DPS into it with my missiles as possible. So now that we're about 2K away from it, look at that. That's so weird why the missiles are doing that. And we're just gonna let loose what we have left. I think that hammerhead is falling. And we're just gonna let loose. I need my lag pip. I can't use a lead pip for the life of me. I believe the hammerhead hit the ground. We gotta go power their weapons too. Really get. Yeah, the hammerhead is derped right now. And am I even hitting this damn thing? Yeah, that hammerhead did kind of derp out for us. But we still got a pretty decently quick kill on a hammerhead. Yeah, it wasn't that much of a challenge because it derped out on us. But time to kill was still pretty good. So now what we're going to do is take out the Corsair out of an ERT, running laser cannons as well. Now we are at our ERT for the Corsair. Now we're running a similar loadout to the Connie. We are running all Omni Skies, all fixed. So we got 4 size 5s, 2 size 2 or 2 size 4s, but we only have 4 missiles. We have 4 Raptor 4s. So what I am thinking is try to take out its escorts with those missiles and then go straight guns on the hammerhead. That's what I'm thinking. Because running laser cannons fixed on this thing, I don't really enjoy a whole lot. I would have gone ballistic Gatlings, but technical difficulties happened. So we will see. Man, the Connie flies so much better in atmosphere though. Like, even in light atmosphere, it flies so much better. I have a slight upstrafe go on and a slight up pitch just to try to keep its nose level. So far I don't really know what I would pick over the two, to be completely honest with you, because they both got a lot of firepower. The Corsair's got more firepower. It's faster and it's slightly more nimble, except for when rolls feel the same to me. Other than that, like, I truthfully don't know what I like better right now. I just don't. So I don't even think I'm gonna be able to answer that question in this video. But we still gotta do the ERT and the Corsair. So the lock range on these Raptor 4s though are actually kind of insane. Like 17K. Like, we can get a lock right now if I could see my freaking target. Alright. That's a Hurricane. That's a Vanguard Warden. And there's the Hammerhead. We'll do about 5K for these missiles. Whoa, that's a mountain face. Do I have my VTOL thrusters down? I don't. I want those down. I don't want to get too close to the hammerhead, and I don't want these escort fighters swarming me. Also, the Connie doesn't need nearly as many flares or decoys as the Corsair. Tell you one thing though, Connie sounds a lot better. Or not the Connie, the Corsair sounds a lot better. The ambient noise that this thing makes is absolutely crazy. You know what? Let's take out that Hurricane first. We're going slow. Very slow. 5K. All right, let's test it. He flared it. That pisses me off. All right, that's fine. We'll go 3.5. There we go. It hit him. Doesn't look happy either. Let's hit him with another one. He looks like he might just be done. Back strafe, back strafe. Whoa! So the Hurricane hit the deck, and that I just deleted that Vanny. Oh my god! All right, we'll hit this thing with a we'll hit this thing with a little bit too. Make sure we don't hit the deck. We'll do about 2.5K away from him. All right. Winchester on missiles. All right, and weapons free. Here, this one's actually shooting at us. Let's recharge his weapons, eh? Come on. I'm literally gonna sit stationary. Boom. That was fast. I feel like the time to kill on the hammerhead might have been slightly faster, but not much. But that hammerhead also did fight back a little bit. So, I do kind of like those size 4s though. They don't quite one-shot a ship, but damn. So let's go find a landing pad and we'll go give final thoughts. So after trying out both ships, I don't really know which one is better, to be honest with you. Now granted, the Corsair is considered to be an exploration ship, but it's a Drake ship. It's not an exploration ship, even though that's what CIG and Drake call it. It's a pirating ship, 100%. It's a gunship. There's no way an exploration ship is going to have this much forward-facing firepower. It's a pirating ship slash gunship. That's why I decided to compare it with the Constellation Andromeda. The Constellation Andromeda in my opinion, arguably it could be the same too. It could be a pirating ship, but it's also a gunship. It's classified as a gunship. After flying them though, like back to back, side to side, or side by side, I'm genuinely surprised on how the Corsair does fly. Even at, like, I have flight time in both of these quite a bit, and I never realized that the Corsair is actually faster. I was under the impression that the Constellation Andromeda was faster than the Corsair, which it is not. It only goes 910 when the Corsair goes 940 something. Doing the pitch and yaw, realizing that the Corsair does that slightly faster, slightly. It's only slightly, but it's enough where I notice it. That also genuinely surprised me. This thing flies like less of a brick than I thought it does. Now, when it comes to rolls, they feel about the same. I'm pretty sure, I'll have to go look back at footage, but I'm pretty sure the Eurkl Stats said the rolls were better on the Corsair, but I don't feel a difference in the rolls at all. After taking them up both out in combat, we both ships, I don't want to say struggled in the VHRT, but I had similar situations happen. One that has to do with piloting, and two, actually no, that probably mainly only had to do with piloting for like struggling at first with the VHRT, because I fly directly head on into the target because I fly fighters. So they performed very, very, very similar to the VHRT. Now, when it came to the ERT, the Connie was able to dispatch the escort fighters a lot easier because of its missile payload. All the missiles were just like slap on the escorts. But if I remember correctly, there was only actually one escort for the Connie one. The Connie ERT was a little scuffed because the Hammerhead didn't even fight. But either way, that escort fighter for the Connie went down a lot easier. For the Corsair, when that Vanguard put its nose on me and started flying at me, I deleted it almost immediately, like instantly. It was insane. I was genuinely surprised with that. I know I use the term genuinely surprised a lot, but with how fast these Omni Skies took care of that Vanny. I mean, like I said, we got 2 more guns on these things, and each gun is bigger than what's on the Connie. You got 2 size 4s, 2 size 5s on the Connie. You got 4 size 5s and 2 size 4s on the Corsair. So that Warden didn't stand a chance. The Hammerhead definitely went down faster in the Corsair. But again, that has to do with the firepower it does. So which one is better? Honestly, I don't think there is a better ship. I don't think the Corsair is better than the Connie. I don't think the Connie is better than the Corsair. I honestly think they're pretty close to being 1-to-1. Personally, now after flying it though, for my personal taste, I think I might stick with the Corsair because it's slightly faster and slightly more nimble. Yes, the Corsair flies like dog shit in atmosphere. And that is one of the reasons why I wanted to get away from the Corsair and I went with a Connie, or was trying out flying Connies for a while. Because the Connie can fill, in my opinion, the same role as the Corsair. Or the Corsair can fill the same role as the Connie. But having an easier time flying in atmosphere goes a long way. But for me, it'll just take some practice. But I think after doing them side by side, I will stick with the Corsair for it's slight improvement over the Connie for maneuverability, and its slight increase in top speed and the forward-facing firepower. I'm not all about the missile game. I love launching missiles and stuff like that, but I like shooting my guns a lot more. If I were more into the missiles, I guarantee you I would pick the Connie. There is one other downside that I didn't mention. The Corsair doesn't come with a snub fighter like the Constellations do, like aside from the Taurus, which, in my opinion, would actually be a very big plus to the Constellation if the snub fighter consistently worked. Right now, there's a thing with it that it does not want to undock from the Connie. I haven't been able to try it in the PTU, but also since I'm flying these ships solo most of the time anyway, the snub fighter is mainly sitting there, and if I take it out, the Connie out in combat or anything like that, I'm not going to be worried about getting out and launching a snub fighter and trying to fight that way. I'm going to use the guns the Connie has, and if I did use the snub fighter for it, I'd lose my ship because it's happened before. So yeah, I personally think I am going to stick with the Corsair. It's probably not a ship I'm going to fly all the time because I don't fly the Connie all the time either. But for the role that I use this for, or use those for, which is mainly exploration, bunker missions, and stuff like that. By the way, you can fit a there's a rover in the Constellation. You can actually fit two in the Corsair. But I mainly use them for like bunker running or exploration and stuff like that. I'm gonna stick with the Corsair for those, and also hammerhead killing if I decide to take on hammerheads. Yeah, I could use an Eclipse, but I like shooting my guns. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this one up here. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you found this video informative. I'm sorry if it felt a little dull. It is 4 o'clock in the morning now. And I know I'm not subliminal with comparing ships and stuff like that, but I wanted to do my own little thing because honestly, the main reason why I decided to do this video was because I couldn't find a true like one-to-one comparison on YouTube. Yeah, there's been a couple of them when the Corsair was still in concept, or I found the Corsair fighting Connies. I wanted to do my own kind of comparison because what I was looking for wasn't on YouTube. So either way, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, go ahead, leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video and around the verse. Alrighty, have a good one.